Leadership is to take action in a way that adds value to someone else. Part of understanding yourself is also trying to understand your strengths and your weaknesses. Now, this is harder than it sounds. If I want to be a banker, what does it take to be a great banker? It takes these attributes. Okay, my strengths and weaknesses are this, this, and this, and my weaknesses are this, 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 in that context. Now, the trick is, most of us, in my experience, are not aware of our strengths and weaknesses. And when you say, how's that possible? This is not that difficult. This gets to the difference between coaching and mentoring. Many people listening to this have a mentor. What does a mentor mean? I tell you a story about my strengths and weaknesses and about what I'm doing in the job, and the mentor gives me advice. The problem is their advice is only as good as my story. And most of us have blind spots and don't realize what we're doing and how it appears. Coaching is different than mentoring. Coaching requires direct observation. And the trick for you in understanding your strengths and weaknesses is to go to people who observe you regularly and ask them their feedback on your strengths and weaknesses. Most people who are in their right mind do not want to tell you. Nobody wants to upset you or offend you or get on your bad side. You need to press upon them that you want to hear constructive feedback, because if you don't, they're going to gloss over it unless they really get a strong signal from you, because the thing that they're thinking about telling you is going to be like a punch in the gut, okay? And my experience in seeking advice from people, particularly as you get more senior, unless you emphasize them, I really want to hear something I can do better or a weakness. You know, they're reluctant, and then they finally tell you, and it hurts because you realize it's true and you realize you didn't understand it, but it makes sense. And the good news is you go do something about it. Again, it needs to be done in the context of a job you're doing or aspire to do, and you need to get the help of other people who care enough about you to tell you things they may not want to hear but need to hear, but they're only going to do it if you strongly signal to them you want to hear about your weaknesses. My experience, when people can internalize they have a weakness and they need to improve in areas, they normally do, but it takes a lot of work. And so strengths and weaknesses is part of understanding yourself, and it's a lot more meaty and challenging than most people think.